about 11:55 a.m. Today, the 7th of March, 2024. Jerry Dulac. I mean, a lot of people respect Jerry Dulac. I say he is the most in the know of the in the knows, right? Without technically being with the organization. But he went on his handy dandy Twitter account. Shout out to Jerry Dulac, and he says, Steelers are interested in signing Russell Wilson and are tentatively planning to meet with the former Broncos quarterback before the start of free agency per sources. Wilson has interest in joining Steelers. Story in the Post-Gazette forthcoming. You know, it had 1.3 million views on the tweet. I mean, that came across my desk when all that in it, because I don't even be up there at 11:55 a.m. Deke, you know that, Deke. 11:55 a.m. bro.
You're not up.
I might be chilling with wifey at 11:55 a.m. I'm just like, whoa, what? He felt that though. So it made its way to me, and I was just like, whoa, all right, okay. And here we are.
I think you're using the allergies as an excuse for why you sound the way you do right now. Because my guess would be you were partying a little bit after you saw that tweet.
Oh, I was listen. The allergies have got me. My eyes are super red. All right,
I don't think it's the allergies.
I'm just trying to make it through here today. All right, guys, trying to make it through here today. But that's what the Jerry Dulac said. We like Jerry more. I mean, outside of Shefty. If
he's wrong sometimes, right?
But he's right way more. I mean, in fact, he was the one that dropped the report about the Steelers always wanting Kenny Pickett over Malik Willis, Matt Corral, Sam Howell. He was the one who dropped that nugget. I remember you was like, yo, bro.
Did he say that?
That was him. That was a Jerry quote. Jerry's in the know. Like I said, every time, you know who else I bumped into when I was at the Combine? Guess who was there? Jerry.
What do you have to say?
I'm just saying he was with the important people. That's all I know. He was around the people that you're like, yo, if you're around them people, those are the right people to be around. He was around the right people. That's all I'm saying. We was all in some people was in the building. Not everybody's in the right section though. He was in the section with the section. You know, it's like the section, and then it's the section. Jerry was in the section, bro. So that's what he said. So I'm just, the floor is yours, bro. How did you feel when this news came across? Because you felt passionate yesterday, and now I'm with you. I just need to check on my dog. How my dog doing today? And remember, I got allergies, so bear with me.
I don't think it's the allergies.
It's big. I got allergies, bro.
Well, I got a question before.
I'm innocent, bro. I'm innocent now.
Any takes or things that I'm thinking right now?
You know I'm innocent.
Going back to Dulac and the Combine.
All right.
Weren't you the one that came in here on Monday and was saying the Steeler brass?
No.
They truly stand by their quote
Kenny.
of full faith in
Trust
Kenny.
me, there is full faith in Kenny.
Okay.
But what did we also know that we know now that we did not know at the Combine? The official number for what Russ would cost. Before, it was a lot of speculation around it. Before, it was, what would it cost? How much would the Broncos take on? What would you have to potentially give up? Are they actually going to release him? So, yeah, that was very accurate. Since then, what have we seen happen 2 days ago? The Broncos dropped the report saying that they are going to release him. And then we got that official number of what it would specifically cost to bring him here. That's the game changer, because now it's apples to apples. Before it was, okay, we don't want Russ on the curve of contract, Russ, so let's grade on the curve for Kenny. And it makes more sense fiscally to roll with Kenny versus having to pay Russ at this stage what he would demand. That goes out the window when you're saying I could get Russ for the same price as Kenny. Now we're literally just saying who's better. Organization, I think, looked at that like, all right, well, that's worth a phone call. And clearly they worth a meeting on top of it, because we could say what we want about Russ in terms of our opinions on him, but from just a NFL quarterback today's standpoint, he still checks the boxes. He still checks more of those boxes than our current situation right now. The big thing is, if we're talking future, that's a big convo of what's your long-term answer. Yep. And the financial part of, would you commit more to that? But to me, I'm not necessarily worried about the long term. I've told you how I looked at the rest as a 2 to 3 year window. I wonder, does the team view it similarly? But we at least know that now they do have that official public interest, and not just we like you. They say, "Yo, pull up. We're gonna take you on a date now." It's real. They typically don't meet with you unless they, try and close something.
It could be Omar doing some con artist type of stuff, but I'm with you. I think the interest is genuine, and I don't think my take has really changed that much on the Steelers quarterback situation, or even this whole new Russ factor being involved too. I would understand if we brought in Russ.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a $1 million vet minimum contract. It is Russell Wilson, even if it is a diminished Russ. It's Russ Wilson for $1 million.
Yeah.
Like, I get the intrigue. I get why the Steelers might be interested in bringing him in, or at least having the phone call and doing their due diligence, because what this at least does is gives the Steelers some better leverage on maybe a Mason contract or a potential Justin Fields trade. Just by, hey, we're interested over here too.
Yeah.
So, like, we're not just completely locked in on Mason. We're not completely locked in on a Justin Fields trade. Thinking about Russ too, and he's going to be cheaper than both of you guys. So, like, the question with Russ goes back to, you're right, the long-term vision and just what comes with bringing Russ into your organization.
Yeah.
That power dynamic, just, the extra stuff that might come with it. But I'm still riding with my take yesterday. I'm not going to step off from what I said. I'm still interested in seeing what Kenny could do next year. Still interested in that. And I'd also be interested to see if Mason can replicate those last 4 games. So, like, those would be my 2 guys. Some of the risks that come with Russ, I understand why the Steelers would be willing to take him on. I don't really have a grand argument against signing Russ for a $1 million deal outside of, I think Kenny or Mason can be as good, if not better than Russ next year, and we might not have to deal with the Russ power dynamic or Russ getting old on us quick. Like, that's it. That's it. It's Russ Wilson for a vet minimum contract.
You can have Russ cheaper than you can have Mason next year.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, that's...
Mason might give you, like, an answer. Like, if Mason beats out Kenny, Mason balls out next year, Mason could be your answer, though, like, long term. He's still young, 28.
Sure. I'm with you on all that. I just said, if Mason wants $4 million, that's still $3 million more than what we would be paying Russell Wilson. I just think of what that could do to the rest of the team. Right? Shoot, take $2 million over there, man. Add you something.
Omar could do it. He could figure it out. I don't think
I'm with you.
signing
but no,
Mason
but this,
versus Russ.
No. But I'm saying in the sense of this. I'm saying in the sense of this. It's like you were about to, go in the, man, I bring Mason, it's cool. And I'm like, once again, that's all good. But Russ is still cheaper than Mason. Officially. Unless Mason comes back on a vet man, which we don't think he wants to do that. So even if we're just talking just cost versus production, who's giving you the better bang for your buck?
It's a great question. Because there's a lot more uncertainty with Mason, and
he's going to cost more. In this dynamic, he is definitely going to cost more.
Russ, another year older. I got some Broncos insiders telling me maybe some of the stats from him last year could have been fool's gold.
And what does that say for the stats that we had then? Because some of ours could also be fool's gold.
Not Mason's.
Okay.
Not Mason's.
That's
if anything, I think Kenny's stats are fool's gold in a way that people look down on him a little bit too much than what is warranted. But
and Mason, no, though.
No, not Mason's.
Okay.
No, that was legit good football he was playing. Legitimately good football.
No. We ain't saying good football. We said fool's gold. Kind of like garbage time stats. It's like you playing against the Ravens.
How was Mason's fool's gold?
Was the Ravens out there with their starters? No, they weren't.
That was still a legitimate performance, though. In the rain, in the monsoon, all I'm saying, 90%.
What would you say is the difference between when a person is coming back from 3 scores down, you would call it garbage time, right? Because you said that, they probably took off they guys, or they're not with the killer instinct anymore. They're just playing. I'm just saying, some people could look at that same Ravens team and draw that
also
comparison.
Performed very well in the Bills.
Oh no, he
game
did.
in
He
the playoffs.
I was just saying,
Seahawks
if
on
we
the
were going to
road.
bring up Russ and how people might say he has fool's gold stats, I'm just saying that could also be said for us as well.
The only reason I'm bringing that up, I just don't think it's like a for sure thing that Russ is Russ.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Maybe he is. Like, maybe this Broncos Russ is more of the Russ that you'd be getting, and it might still be on the decline as opposed to ever getting back to prime Seattle.
And we all agree with that, too. Just say what we saw from Russ even last year.
I get it's not that crazy of a risk. The risk is the power dynamic stuff, bringing in Russ, upheaving a little bit of what you've been trying to build with drafting Pickett in the first round and stuff, putting a halt to that. I don't know what other crazy risk there is, because if he does get old quick,
you walking away
could cut him. Oh, you could cut him.
I guess what do we? I don't see what we hang it up on with Russ. I'm like, yo, this is $1 million free agent.
I think the hang up is if you like
$1 million free agent. Am I missing it?
Is if you believe in Pickett, you're just like, it's not worth it.
The thing that is funny though, let this have been Mike Evans, available for $1 million because of the Bucks deciding that they're going to go in a different direction. Would everybody a part of Steelers Nation be having that same energy if you could sign Mike Evans for $1 million? Former Super Bowl champ, do this potentially on the back end, slowing down? No, we would be saying, bro, you're getting up for $1 million.
Mike Evans
come holler at me.
1,300 yards and like.
And Russ still had 26. Well, he was what? You pulled up the numbers. You said it yourself.
Yeah, I know.
So what's the difference?
You want to look at the yardage total from last year. It's actually not even that far off from Pickett. Passing yards per game.
All I'm saying is this, man. If it's $1 million for both of these quarterbacks, one is already a guarantee what you're getting. One is 90% speculation of what you're going to be getting. That's all I'm saying, in the sense of when you're bringing them in. Like, I don't see any issue with bringing them in, bro. That's why I just zero issue with it for $1 million.
I don't have this grand rebuttal for you.
Yeah, I was like, this is $1 million.
Like, I don't have. If the Steelers do it, I would understand it. I still want to see Pickett next year, though. Like, that's me personally. I want to see what the dude could do.
Nah, respect.
I would like to see what Mason could do. And the upside for them is if they are capable of hitting that ceiling or becoming what I think they can be, either one of them, you have a long-term solution there. Whereas Russ, you talked about it. 2 years, 1 year, 2 years.
So
could he get older than you quick? I don't know.
If Russ, in this analogy, because we're only assuming that Kenny is the only one that can develop, right? Or Kenny's the only one that can do good. So say Russ actually does do good.
He could.
And you get you a ring. Was it worth it?
Absolutely.
So what we talking about?
I understand why. I think Kenny can get us a ring, though. Like, I don't think that's out of the question for me. If he can develop and hit his ceiling, it's just that thought of why not ride with what we got?
Because you can get a proven Super Bowl champ for the same price.
But my thinking is, and potentially the Steelers organization thinking is, could Kenny at least be what Russ was last year?
Fair enough.
And then you got him at 26 years old and could potentially be your guy for the next 10 years. Could he be that? If he is who you think he is, or you thought he was when you drafted him, and even being around this organization for the last 2 years, seeing him in the building, see how he works, see him out on the field, win these games and stuff. If he is who you think he is, then I don't think you'd necessarily have to jump ship for a Russ then.
Fair.
If he isn't, then all right. This is why you're looking at Russ. This is why you're doing your due diligence and everything. And you still may believe in Kenny, but I also, it is Russell Wilson.
Is it just good business?
Cheap contract.
I'm like, if so, what would you spend the $1 million because we still have to get another quarterback anyways, right? If Mason leaves in free agency, or if Mason came back for whatever $4 billion, what's the third quarterback you draft for? What too?
Listen, you're not getting some grand rebuttal from me.
Like, we just say it's because it's a mill. It's like, how does that hurt anything if it's for the mill? And if Kenny gonna be what we think he could develop into, once again, you beating this dude out for beat him out, and it only cost us a meal. But if it doesn't, and he actually could lead us and win us one,
Right. If Russ is
then you're doing that for
Russ
a
is the
meal.
full goal that my Broncos
Yeah.
insider's telling me about.
It was a meal. That's all I'm saying, bro. It's like we're talking $1 million. We gonna spend that on a free agent, and we're gonna be over here like, all right, that's like it's not even a 7th rounder. Yeah, just like, bro, this is the proven that That's all. I like it though, baby. I like it. All right. Be interesting though, man. Definitely be interesting next couple of days.